everyone, it's Marie here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And I just wanted to thank everyone that subscribed recently. I cannot believe it. I have reached the 4,000 subscriber mark and I couldn't be happier. So thank you all so much for watching my channel and for enjoying my work and for your lovely feedback. It really helps to keep this channel going, so I appreciate it so much. And the few customers that I have, I want to thank them too for their support, because this just helps to keep the channel going. So thank you to everyone who's supporting my little business. Myself and my family appreciate it very, very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So today I'm going to be showing you a project, a little card, using the Bella and Friends stamp set. This was a request from last week when I made the Pretty Kitty stamp set. It's the video prior to this one that I'm making today. And I had a request to make a follow-up with the Bella and Friends stamp set. And again, I've only used one image from the Bella and Friends stamp set, so I'm happy to use this stamp set again because I haven't used it for a very long time, so it's perfect. So today I'll be using this gorgeous little dog image. Love it. I'm using also the Playful Backrounds stamp set. Now this is a stamp set that has not seen any love from me at all whatsoever. So I really quite like making my own DSP. So that's what I'll be doing today, and I'll be using these lovely little doodle circles image there. Love it. And I'm using the stitch shape framelits, and I'll be using the large and the second largest stitch shape circles. So we'll get started on our project today. Pop these to one side. So for today's project, we will need a piece of Call Me Clover cardstock. This is at 4 1/4 across by 8 1/2, and I've scored it down the middle at 4 1/4. I forgot to bring my whatchamacallit, my bone folder, so I'm going to use my Versamark ink pad, or maybe I'll use my Stampin' Up ink pad and use that as my bone folder for now, so I don't waste your time. And then I've cut a small piece of Whisper White cardstock at 4 by 4, so it just lays right on top of that. I'm going to use also a scrap piece of Call Me Clover cardstock to cut out the largest circle. And for now, what I'm going to do is, I've got a scrap piece here of Whisper White again. I'm going to use my Stamparatus. I tend to use my stamp positioning tools quite a bit because I feel that I can get a more accurate stamping and not muck around and waste time and money trying to get images right and then having to throw cardstock out. So I'm being a little frugal these days with my crafting. So I'm going to get that little dog image. I've taken out all the foam that comes with the Stamparatus, and I'm just going to stamp that dog in Memento. And I'll grab the Memento. I tend to keep it in my original packaging, and I've only ever had to re-ink it once in 10 years, so that's pretty good. So I'm just going to ink that little dog up now in Memento. And let's see how that's stamped. Perfect. I'll give you a close-up. And that stamped really, really well. So I'm going to leave it to the side for it to dry. And I'm going to clean that stamp. And then I'm going to bring back the foam and my 4 by 4 image here of the panel, the front panel, and I'm just going to take out this stamp here. And I'm going to position it right in the corners, just like that. So what I'm going to do is, just take this away for a second. I'm going to run the embossing buddy over the top of this. Okay, make sure that I get rid of any static from there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp that image with Memento. And I'm going to stamp in all of the corners. I'm going to turn that around, stamp it again. Turn it around. And I'm just going to do it on all four corners. And I don't mind so much in the middle because that's going to be covered up by my image later on. So it pretty much has covered, I'm not sure if you can see that, all around. So I'll leave it over to the side for a second. I'm going to clean that stamp and then get rid of the Stamparatus. And I'm done with my stamping, which is cool. Just clean that off with my chamois and take off my stamp. And I am done with my stamping. Then I'm going to grab my white embossing powder. I like to keep mine in a container. That just minimises the mess. So I'll just grab my stamped image here. And I'm going to pour white embossing powder over the top. And turn that around. Okay, so I've applied my, give it a flick, so I'll just hold it somewhere where I don't destroy my embossing powder there. Give it a flick, and that's now all done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera, heat emboss this, and come back. So I'll see you shortly. Okay, so I've just finished the heat embossing. So as you can see, it is done in white. Just beautiful. And I love that background. It is so cool. So what I'm going to do with this background is some ink blending. Now this is something that I adore doing at the moment. So I've got my Ranger craft sheet here. This is an indestructible almost craft sheet that you can heat emboss and do some cool mixed media kind of stuff. And I really love that. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to be doing some masking, and we're going to kind of equally divide the area in three, so I can do some ink blending. And the colours I'll be using are Call Me Clover, Pineapple Punch, and Blueberry Bushel. So we'll get started on that. So what I will do with this is I'm going to use some painter's tape, and I'm going to mask the area that I'm going to not use on this. So I will go from, say, about there. that's done now. So I have a nice gradients of colour. And just grab my chamois, give this a wipe. It takes a while to blend things nicely, so just to let you know. And it does get messy, but it's so much fun. Okay, so give that a wipe. Wipe this down. I'll take this craft sheet away. And I'm just going to grab a tissue and just wipe off any of the excess ink off this altogether. Looks quite nice now. Okay, so I'm going to attach this onto my Call Me Clover card base. So I'll just grab some glue. Forgot to bring it. And I'm going to pop this up here like this. And this bit's sort of kind of peeled off a little, so I'm just going to add some glue on that and just stick that down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my hands a bit of a wash because it's full of ink, and then I will be back. Okay, so I finished washing my hands and got rid of the bulk of the ink so it doesn't contaminate while I work. So I'm going to grab my little dog image there, and I'm going to use my watercolour pencils, and I'm going to colour this dog in, and I'll be using my blender pen as well. I really love this kind of colouring. I find it incredibly satisfying, and it's a great opportunity for me to keep practicing because I just adore it. So I love grey animals. So what I'll be doing is I'll be scribbling on some grey. So I'll bring this closer and come down, and I'll just colour this in grey. So I'm just going to do just basic colouring there, just like a patch, small patch. I'm just scribbling on the colour. It doesn't have to be overly precise. And I'm going to colour in the tail a little bit. I'll be blending that out. And just the paws there, and the paws here at the back and here. And I'll do some here too, just a little bit like that. And I'll just grab my blender pen and I'll just blend that out. Just scribbling out so it's not too intense. Just blend that out. Okay. And Okay. I'm going to colour in that collar with a dark blue. And I'm going to use a bright yellow for the heart. Okay, now for the ground, I'm going to use a little bit of green just here. So it looks. And then okay, so I have now finished colouring that gorgeous little dog. So I'm just going to zoom you out again. Oops. Okay, so isn't that just adorable? How cute is that? And I love my watercolour pencils. That can be any brand you have. They can be the Stampin' Up ones, any other brand. I'm not getting the Stampin' Up ones purely because I don't want to double up on my equipment. If I have watercolour pencils, whether they're Stampin' Up or not, that's all I'm going to get. The Stampin' Up ones are very nice and they do coordinate with the colours. If you don't have any, great. It's up to you how you want to, you know, use your equipment. For me, I'm not going to double up. If I've got it, that's that. So I'm going to grab my Big Shot and we're going to cut those out. So I'll be using my Big Shot platform. I'm going to grab the second largest one and the largest one. So I'll bring those two out. So I've got this gorgeous little thing here, the second largest one. Just make sure it's nicely squared on. Then I'm going to grab my other one. Keep that on there. It's on the magnetic platform. I'm going to run these two through the Big Shot. Take these off. And I love these two layered together with the stitch shapes. Isn't that cool? Okay. Okay, so what happened was my memory just completely ran out and I got to this point. So this is fantastic. So at least this is done. So what I will do now is I'm going to adhere that onto that Call Me Clover stitch shaped circle, and I'm going to grab some glue, stick that on. And like with my previous card, I'm just going to put glue in the middle of these circles, and I'm not going to stick them up on any dimensionals, but that's up to you if you want to do that. So I've just got some PVA glue. You can use your Tombow, whatever you may have on hand. And I've just adhered that down now, so it's nice and adhered. So I'll bring back my card base, and all I'm going to do is just stick it down in the middle. And that is my card for today. So I'll just apply the glue now and put that over the top. And that is my card for today. I'm leaving it blank, so I have the option of using this for whatever occasion I see fit. So what I've done is I've just only put glue in the middle, and then that way these have a little bit of a lift, even though I haven't put any dimensionals, and it just gives that, you know, a little bit of dimension. But there's the finished card. I hope you really like it. It's just something a little different. And I love the Playful Background stamps. These are fantastic. They're photopolymer, so there's easy placement. I just used my Stamparatus, and I found it really easy to do. You know, when you have a small card, you can do that without, you know, using your block if you wish. And I got perfect stamping. Love it. And the Bella and Friends card. So something a little different to our usual, and I used colours with my watercolour pencils that were very close to the Stampin' Up ones. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to purchase any of the products that I had used today, minus these ink blending tools, but you know, if you've got any questions or you'd like to purchase them, you're in Australia and you don't have a demonstrator, or you simply want to support my channel to keep this free content going, I would really, really appreciate your business. And whoever orders from me always gets something handmade, whether it's a card or a little box, and I always give a little present as well if I can that month. So anyway, thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you like the card. If you have any questions or if you want to give any feedback, please do leave a comment below. And also, if you like my videos and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and give me the thumbs up. Thank you all so much. I hope to see you again next time, and have a wonderful crafty day. Bye.